Hello, it's Garnet, and I've been asked to talk about the Neurolite and Neurolite neuroplastic assessments. So I think that this is for sure going to be probably a multi-part video, trying to keep it in nice chunk sizes. So, assessment. Whenever we think about the Neurolite, we think about neuroplasticity. And there's a basic concept that I call neuroplastic capacity and neuroplastic demand. Capacity and demand. I'm sure, or I hope maybe, that you've encountered this concept in other videos and teaching materials. I think it's really fundamental. If you're an exercise trainer or a yoga teacher, or there's a big long list of possibilities. Somebody comes to you and they want you to train them, teach them yoga or take them through a fitness schedule towards some kind of longer or maybe even short-term goal. You're going to make an assessment. Whether it's formal or informal, whether conscious or even unconscious, the idea is that whatever the demands are in the exercise program, in the yoga program, they have to be related to the person's capacity. The capacity to be able to experience and integrate the stimulation in the different exercises, in the different asanas, because they all have a degree of demand, the degree of difficulty or the challenge, I guess you could say. So having some sense of where they are in their capacity relative to the demand is really fundamental. I think that's also true when it comes to neuroplasticity, and consequently, the design has three aspects, which I believe you're understanding more or less now. The concept of the brain skills, that's the learning, but the learning is going to have a higher or lower degree of probability, meaning of actually being learned. You can teach without learning, right? That's actually learned, it's integrated, it becomes a practical skill, it's a result. These brain skill sessions, the learning, have a direct relationship to what I call the brain food, which is the energy supplementation through the nasal light, and also to that general level of, we'll call it fitness or vitality in the brain, in the central nervous system. That's the brain gym. And the brain gym, we know, are brain exercises. So within the brain gym, if you'd open it up on the user interface, what you'd see, of course, is that there are kind of two categories. One category are the assessments and the exercise trainings, and then the other category are the brain network reinforcements. So this short video series is going to be focusing on that first aspect, assessment in relation to the trainings. And it not only has a direct relationship to the brain gym with the brain exercises, it also has a connection to the brain skills, because you'll notice that all of the brain skills sessions, the learning aspects, the learning compositions, not only are they divided by kind of similar category, what I call the zones, right? Peace, cognition, mood, dependency, exploration. But within those, you're going to find degrees of challenge or difficulty, the degree of demand. It can be either foundation level, intermediate level, or advanced level. Now, please understand that I've done my best to rate or categorize these by degrees of difficulty, the degrees of demand. These aren't absolute rules. If I was to do it all again, maybe I'd shift them one up or one down, on further consideration. But when I designed it, that was my best shot. So the assessment aspect is not only directly related to the foundation, intermediate, and advanced when it comes to the brain exercises in the brain gym. We have coordination, flexibility, endurance, and strength. Those are just the exercises. Isolated, simple, targeted exercises for very basic brain functions. So those have foundation, intermediate, and advanced, and so do the brain skills have foundation, intermediate, and advanced. So the whole concept of assessment has a relationship to the choices that you make. With the basic concept is that you want the person to have an adequate capacity to match a similar level of demand. I think that should be kind of common sense. Now, what happens if you expose a person to brain skills at a higher level of demand when perhaps they're not really up to it? Is there danger there? Well, no, I wouldn't say that there's danger. What there is decreased probability of integration. One of the things that people will commonly report is that during one of the composition experiences, they will, quote unquote, go to sleep. They're not really going to sleep. It's kind of a sleep-like state, but it's not really sleep, although after a while it can actually migrate into true sleep. But what it is a neuroprotection response from the brain. If the brain is getting too much stimulation, then the inhibitors will clickety-clickety-click all begin to shut down in a cascade. So what happens is you kind of go away. So if you go into neurolight experiences that are at a level of demand much greater than your capacity, what you're going to find is a low probability of integration. Because for neuroplastic change to happen, the cardinal principle is that there must be attention. Conscious attention to the experience is a fundamental property of neuroplastic change. All right, so what I'm going to be doing in this next series of short videos is looking at basically the 4 different ways of doing a neuroplastic assessment using the Neurolight. Okay, I hope that helps. That's kind of an introduction to the concept. Thanks.